What's up, guys? So it's very late. It was very late last night when I went to record this, and I was so dead-ass tired that I decided not to record it. And that's why instead you got a Fortnite highlight video again. But for some reason I'm like wide-ass awake, which is horrible. This is very, very bad, considering I start an actual job in 2 weeks. So having an inability to go to sleep on time is not really great. Got to try and fix that before things get too out of control. I told you guys that I would regale you with a tale of my moving woes thus far, and so I shall. It's not really like that big of a deal. There's just been some hiccups with the current apartment complexo. Notably, we obviously put in our 30-day notice to move out because we were pretty sure that the job was going to pan out. But they had kind of said, like, hey, you need to let us know if you want to rescind that, not at the last minute. And so, trying to be polite, we did that. And 2 days later, they finalized the fact that I had gotten the job and that we were going to move. And so, naturally, I called and asked, hey, I know it's been 2 days. Is there any way we can maybe not rescind that? No, was the answer that I got. And so I was like, well, I only need to be here for like 3 or 4 days. Is there any way that you guys could prorate the rent? And they were like, no, you have to pay everything. And I'm like, okay, I understand that that's the rules. But let's think about this from the perspective of, taking into consideration everything that has happened this year, especially with my heating and air, all the inconvenience that I have been caused, laying it on a little thick, the typical shit. I'll be honest with that. And they were like, we'll call the regional people and we'll let you know. And so I'd pretty much given up hope, thought I was going to have to just pay a ludicrous amount of money to stay here for 5 days. Because my rent is also, not only is my rent going up, if I continue to stay here, but to do month to month, you just pay $100 arbitrary dollars just to stay on a month to month contract. So, that in and of itself is just super frustrating to me. So a week goes by and I get a call. It's like, hey, we have some information for you. Come up to the office. So I come up to the office and they're like, you can move out on 31st if you want. And I was like, see, it took you guys a week to tell me that. And like, I've already made plans to leave later in the month now because it would be more cost beneficial for me to do so. Like, I'm not just gonna leave and only have 5 days or whatever. I tried to sort of work around a new start date and everything, and then they were like, okay, well, what day do you want to leave on? And I was like, the 5th would be pretty optimal. And they're like, cool, you can do prorated rent, 5th, leave, done, game over. And I was like, dope, thank you so very much. I was like, I greatly appreciate it. That's very nice of you guys. Thank you for accommodating me. Sweet deal. Go home, tell everyone and their brother that I needed to do things, like they're helping us move, the apartment up there, the job, everything, got everything squared away. Get a call the next day. Hey, so I was wrong. You can't do prorated. You have to be out the 31st. You have to pay the full thing. And I was like, what in the literal fuck? So I didn't even ask. I was just like, cool. So you guys said you guys were talking to the regional. How do I talk to them? So I called and was directed to somebody's voicemail. Didn't get a call back for 48 hours, which they said it should be 24 to 48 hours before I got a call back. Called back again. Was going to get sent to voicemail, but made it very clear that I had already done that and that this was something that needed to be taken care of urgently. So I got the assistant regional manager who basically said that she didn't know anything about what was going on. Called me back and was like, no, so there was a miscommunication. They just meant that you had to pay, instead of your prorated rent of your normal rent, you had to pay the prorated rent plus the extra money for it being month to month. I was like, okay, thinking in my head, like the part where I said, so I can't pay prorated rent, and he said, no, you cannot pay prorated rent. I was like, what? So yeah, went all the way to the fucking regional people, and like, in retrospect, this doesn't sound like, it's not like horrible. It was literally like 3 phone calls. But in trying to schedule like moving and trying to do packing and trying to schedule like apartment stuff like fucking 1,500 miles away, trying to get like all this stuff squared away and like set up and like talk to people about their work schedules and all this shit, when I finally had like a date, like a hard date, it's like, cool, this is it, and I made all those plans, having that be uprooted and then like kind of being in limbo for like a week was like incredibly like horrible, and it was very, very stressful. And that's why like a lot of those vlogs in the past couple of days, like I was talking about how depressed I was, it's like this was like one of the main reasons, you know. And so it's like, I'm just glad everything's like cool, everything's great, everything's rocking and rolling. My room actually doesn't look that much different. If you look over there, you can see like there's no games on any of those shelves. There's only one bookshelf in here that sells games on it. I mostly just have to pick like the bigger box stuff now. And then like get all the shit off the walls, pet my guitars, like it's just some random shit. So yeah, that's gonna be it for today. This next week is gonna be pretty fucking tough. It's gonna be a lot of packing, a lot of finalizing, and a lot of like really good stuff. That way we can go into the weekend, kind of enjoy the weekend, and then like make sure everything is like good to go Monday and Tuesday, leave on Wednesday, and start our adventure in North Dakota. Although tomorrow will be another Destiny grind day. I have been grinding away over the weekend, and all I have left is a couple more objectives on the green armor set for my Warlock. Do my blue armor set tomorrow. Take me a couple hours max. I really have like figured out how to min max this shit now. My Warlock green set, I think my Titan green set took like something stupid like 5 or 6 hours. But my Warlock green set, I'm almost done, and I think I've only been doing it for like maybe 2.5 hours. So yeah, almost done with Destiny. I got my full 400 out of 400 moment of triumphs. I may have said that already, but I finished that completely. Got the emblem. Just trying to get this ship. And yeah, once I get the ship, it's gonna be dope. I have tomorrow to finish it. Everything is going according to plan. And yeah, that's it. So I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.